On a Friday at 3:30 in the afternoon, I get a call from my boss's secretary, like the top dog, and she says, "Dustin, would you please come to the office?" I said, "Sure." And I hung up the phone, and I thought, why are they calling me to the office? Like, this is not normal. I've seen plenty of movies. Friday at 3:30 is not a good sign. So I started remembering that there was talk about potential layoffs because there was budget issues in the county. I immediately shook it off. I said, I've got 10, 12, 14 years seniority here. Like, I've been doing great here. So I shake it off, and I get up, and I start walking to my boss's office. Well, as I'm walking to the office, the hallway isn't very long. In fact, it's kind of short, but every single step that I took, it felt like the hallway got longer and longer and longer, and it felt like my feet became lead bricks because the thought of potentially losing my job started weighing down on me. Well, I get down the hallway and I turn the corner and I see my boss's door. His door is closed, and I see his secretary there, super sweet, nice old lady, and she says, "Dustin, would you please have a seat?" Well, I take my seat, and she's kind of sheepishly grinning at me, trying to console me with her eyes because she knows everything about what's going on. I know nothing about what's going on. Well, I take my seat and I start thinking about my life. If I get laid off right now, did I just waste my life following this path that somebody else taught me? And then, oh my goodness, we just had our fourth kid. If I can't feed our family, does that make me a failure as a father? Does that make me a failure as a man trying to provide for his family? Well, as I'm sitting there, my hands get all clammy, my forehead gets all sweaty because the nurse, they're just crushing me. Then the door to my boss's office opens up, and then a coworker walks out, and she's having a piece of paper in her hands, and she's devastated. My boss ushered me into his office, and he says, "Dustin, here's your layoff notice." And so I get laid off. And remember, this is the government. Nobody gets fired or laid off the government, but I did. This is the reason why I tell the story.